Virginia Veterans Parade is Saturday, November 7th in downtown Roanoke. Robert Gray, one of those veterans that we'll be honoring. Thanks for coming in and talking to us this morning. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
First off, tell us, when did you enlist and why did you choose to join?
I enlisted in January 1949. And during this time, it was that young people like myself, you couldn't get a job. Veterans had come back to so you wanted a job somewhere. The Army was, or the military was taking most anybody that would show up that could walk in. You got a payday once a month. Well, that was the thing to do in those days. And I went down to join the Army. I found I wasn't old enough. And a guy told me, he says, to go up to the post office, which is a building right across the street at the time, right across the street from him, and register for the draft. So, yeah, well, I don't have a birth certificate. You don't need anything to register for the draft. If you want to register, they'll just take you. So I come up here, go up to the registration office. A lady tells me that, yeah, register for the draft. She said, how old are you? Well, I'm real smart. I knew I had to be 18. I'm 18. She said, oh, when's your date of birth? Well, that was a curve. I didn't know what to answer there. But I said, today. I didn't know that today was the 5th of January. She said, 5th of January, well, you're right on time. You have 30 days to register for the draft. I said, yes, ma'am, but I figure you better do it if you got to do it and get on. Don't be late. It's a good idea. So anyway, I go from there back down to the same sergeant who had just told me that I was too young. I couldn't get in without my parents' signature. But when he seen that little draft card, man, right away, he was typing me up, and a few minutes I was in the Army. And I was sent to Japan, occupation of Japan. The Korean conflict started, and we were the first division sent to Korea. And that's how it got started. You lie, you gotta pay for it.
After the service, what life did you come home to?
Well, I come home and I went to work as, my brother was working as an electrician for a local contractor. So I went to work for them too. I wasn't gonna work very long. I was going back in service, but I ended up working for him 38 years. And great man, done a good job, helped me a great deal. Probably helped me get back into civilian life, or the life here, as much as anybody did, and more so than many of the guys, because I did seem to get in, but a lot of guys had trouble rehabilitating.
Now, you wrote a poem about veterans.
Yeah, one day I was up at, we were trying to get a bus for veterans up there, and to take them off the campus up there, and it had to be a special bus. And we were soliciting money, trying to get money anyway. And I'm standing around there looking at guys one day. I go home, and that night, it dawned on me, the word come to me. I woke up and wrote this poem titled, Forgotten Heroes. Sitting alone in their wheelchairs, I saw some old veterans with looks of despair. Their hands were all calloused, their faces wrinkled and old. A life of frustration was the story they told. No, it wouldn't take much to gladden their hearts, just some small remembrance on America's part. And I thought, they are heroes, as I saw them there, sitting alone in their wheelchair.
Mr. Gray, thanks so much for your service to our country, and thanks so much for talking to us today.
All right. Thank you. The pleasure was all mine.